launch of Australia's celebration of the 1993 International Year of the World's Indigenous People. It will be a year of great significance for Australia. We cannot confidently say that we've succeeded if we've not managed to extend opportunity and care, dignity and hope to the Indigenous people of Australia. A fundamental test of our social goal always failed. Our ability to say to ourselves and to the rest of the world that Australia is a first-rate social democracy, that we are what we should be, truly the land of a fair go and the better chance. Redfern is a good place to contemplate these things, that the failure to bring much more than devastation and demoralisation to Aboriginal Australia continues to be our failure. We cannot simply sweep injustice aside. Surely we can find just solutions to the problems which beset the first Australians, the people to whom the most injustice has been done. The starting point might be to recognise that the problem starts with us, the non-Aboriginal Australians. It begins, I think, with an act of recognition. We took the traditional lands and smashed the traditional way of life. We brought the diseases and the alcohol. We committed the murders. We took the children from their mothers. We practiced discrimination and exclusion. It was our ignorance and our prejudice and our failure to imagine that these things could be done to us. We failed to ask, how would I feel if this was done to me? If we need a reminder of this, we received it in this year with the report of the Royal Commission to Aboriginal Deaths in Custody, which showed with devastating clarity that the past lives on in inequality, racism and injustice, in the prejudice and ignorance of non-Aboriginal Australians, and in the demoralisation and desperation, the fractured identity of so many Aborigines and Torres Strait Islanders. I do not believe that the report should fill us with guilt. I think what we need to do is to open our hearts a bit. All of us be done the practical things. The creation of the Council for Aboriginal Reconstruction. We have to give meaning to justice and equity. We will see more dignity, more confidence, more happiness. The Mabo judgment should be seen as one of these. By doing away with the bizarre concept that this continent had no owners prior to the settlement of Europeans, Mabo establishes a fundamental truth and lays the basis for justice. We can turn the goals of reconciliation into a reality. Visions already become the reality of almost 800 elected Aboriginal regional councillors and commissioners determining priorities and developing their own programs. All over Australia, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities are taking charge of their own lives. If these things offer hope, so does the fact that this generation of Australians is better informed about Aboriginal culture and Aboriginal achievement. So we are beginning to more generally appreciate the depth and the diversity of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures. From their music and art, and the Indigenous people have known for many thousands of years how to live with our physical environment. Ever so gradually, we're learning to see Australia through Aboriginal eyes, beginning to recognise the wisdom contained in their epic story. We're beginning to see how much we owe the Indigenous Australians and how much we've lost by living so apart. We cannot imagine that the descendants of people whose genius and resilience maintained a culture here through 50,000 years or more, through cataclysmic changes to the climate and the environment, and who then survived 2 centuries of dispossession and abuse, will be denied their place in the modern Australian nations. We can't imagine that. We cannot imagine that we'll fail. And with the spirit that is here today, I'm confident that we won't fail.